Hey guys, decided to make another video. I actually start a vlog when I'm trying to get the e-bike to the 90 volt mark. I chew 90 volts. Run into some more problems. Taking care of the pack problem. Like I said, I'm going to be splitting that in half. I'm going to be getting new panners with a new charger, and I'll be coming up shortly. But I ran into another problem that I wanted to share with you on the bike. Now, I've already taken care of all the wiring going over to the controller and to the breaker and everything else. That's all compliant. Then we took care of this wiring here with the RC wire. And we took care of that. I ended up getting stranded on the road twice when a bad solder joint, cold solder joint, broke off under here. I found out what it was. It was the negative lead was too short, and every time I would hit a bump I was pulling on it. So I made sure there was more, a little bit of flopping there to make sure when you're, when you're scissoring with the shocks, it doesn't pull on the wire. Anyway, the issue I'm having now is with this again. The problem is what I did when I brought the wires up and I soldered them, I made sure these 2 pins each would carry the load, and that worked great. But the issue is the pins that are inside the pack itself are very thin, and I kind of noticed it about a week ago. When I hit a bump I would lose throttle, and then it would just, all of a sudden start working again. I thought maybe it was just the throttle cable was giving me problems, but apparently what it was doing, every time I hit a bump it would lose connection. And today I totally lost power, and I started walking the bike, and then I said, screw it, I'm going to see if I can find the problem, and then we'll address it. And what it was the connection between these pins and the pack, the pins in the pack. As you can see, I bent this one over, and once I bent it, it made a connection, and then I was off. So what I'm going to do is just going to eliminate that altogether. I'm going to leave the wires, I'm going to tie wrap it here, leave the wires here, cut it, and put these, put one of these connectors on, a male and female. And then what I'll do is I'll drill a hole in the back of the pack and have this wire here hanging out the back. So I got to rewire the inside the pack anyway. And then we'll leave about 1 inch to 2 inches out with another connector. And then once I slip the pack on, I can just connect like that, and that's a solid connection. It's not going to break the connection hitting a bump. That's the issue. When you hit a bump, these things are not designed for anything over what they're recommended. This is a 48 volt pack, so it can't take 90 volts at 80 amps, right? So that's what we're going to do with that. So that's going to require more wiring. Once the panner bags come in, we'll split this one apart and make some leads. I need 8S leads, but I know if I order them from China it's going to take forever to get here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own. I have 6S leads, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rate 2 of them for 2 leads and then glue it to the other connector. That'll give me 8. These are cheap anyway, so I got 4 here, it's perfect. So that's about it. Like I said, this is number 1 vlog of getting to that 90 volts. I think I'll just roar. But as it stands, I can't do more than 83, 85 with the present state of my wiring and everything else. So let's, once this is done charging, we'll pull it apart and take a look at the wiring on the inside. I have a feeling it has the that bad wiring on the inside of the pack as well. Okay, well this is actually the first time I've had this pack open since I built it. Yeah, it's solid, it hasn't moved. Everything's still the way it was when I built it the first day, but except for the wiring. As you can see, it's doing the same thing again, where all the actual coating is melting right off of it, and it is melted all the way along there, all the way around there. If I hadn't I've opened this up to have a look at it, it more than likely would have shorted the cells eventually down the road. So I'm basically just going to run 2 lines, cut this one here. This one didn't melt, but this one here did. And then what we're going to do is just take this stuff here and run 2 lines out to the corner here and out the side, drill a little hole. That's basically what I bought this for anyway. It's for a mod. Well, it's also a battery backup, but I have to solder the LED back on. So yeah, we're going to have to disable that before it shorts. Yeah, that would have sucked if I lost this pack. It's screwed together, so it's not like you can just pop it apart and, you know, try and stop whatever shorting. As you can see, the wire is same as the one that I showed you in the last video. It just deteriorates to the point. They just run so hot, the coating just basically rots right off. Both of them were like that, both leads. So what I'm guessing is the heat from this heating up was also heating up those cheap connectors on the bottom here, and they were expanding because they were actually physically getting worse as I went along. So the whole running the leads out the side and using actual legitimate RC connectors is probably a good idea. Well, that's it for now. So you get the idea. Put connectors on that, and that pretty much eliminates that problem. I'll have to pull those through and remove them, but that's actually will remove a big problem on the bike. I don't think I'll have any more problems with that. But I'm actually glad I started acting up, because this could have been pretty bad.